Do you suffer from art block? Do you have loads of ideas of things you want to make and then you get burnt out and make none of them? Do you feel like this every time you want to make something but end up procrastinating and not doing that? Then you should probably go to therapy. Then you should try the new method for avoiding art block, tried and tested by one whole person, and peer-reviewed by a different whole other person. Because what you need is a big, boring project. The Big Boring Project is my tried and tested way on how I avoid getting burnt out and getting art block. There are 3 rules to a Big Boring Project, and I will explain how each of these rules help me specifically avoid burnout and hopefully help you guys too. It's a project that you will have running in the background that you can hop in, hop off, and continue making anytime you want, anytime you need a break from your other projects going on. This is what will help you avoid getting burnt out or getting art block from those projects. Rule 1, it has to be big. And by that I mean it has to be a project that's going to last you at least a month, preferably a couple of months, to do. And this is super helpful because one of the reasons I personally get burnt out from making things and making art is because I have all of these ideas that I want to do in my head, and I'm constantly having to think about new projects I'm going to do and starting them, which requires a lot of mental effort to start something. Whereas if you have a big project that you can do in the background and it lasts a long time, that's a long chunk of time where you don't have to keep coming up with a new idea. It's just there for whenever you want to hop in and continue it. Rule number 2 is that it has to be boring. I know I'm just saying the name of the Big Boring Project right now, but stay with me. Boring, I don't actually mean boring that you don't want to do it, but I mean more simple and therapeutic. Like with the last rule, it has to be something that you don't have to think too hard about. Something where you can follow instructions or follow a pattern like a craft kit, where you don't have to come up with the idea. The idea is there, you are just creating it into the world. It still has to keep you engaged, don't get me wrong. It can't be completely boring because otherwise, what's the point? You're not going to want to do it. But it has to be boring enough that once you get too burnt out from all of the other interesting projects that you're trying to do on the side, this is where you go to relax and to get away from those projects where you don't have to think. And a rule number 3, there has to be a set of achievable goals within the project. And by that I mean there has to be parts within the Big Boring Project that once you get to that part, it gives you that gratification in your head to keep going with it. Otherwise you're going to just drop it like you drop the other projects once you get burnout. If you have these little steps or levels within the project, you can decide, oh, this week I want to get to this step in the project, or in a few days I want to finish this step, and that will keep your mind engaged enough that you want to continue the project and give you that gratification that you may not be getting from the other big main things that you want to be doing, which makes it perfect for relaxing to this project because you can get that gratification that you might not be getting. Now, if none of this is making any sense, I'm going to go through some examples of what I use as Big Boring projects to try and explain to you what I mean and what examples you can do for your own things. Now, I am looking at this through a mainly craft lens, but if you're an artist who do digital art or whatever, I will also try and give some examples that you could do, but it's more tricky to do from an art lens. From a craft lens, it's a lot easier to come up with these projects because there's a lot more of them. So for the first example, it's the cross stitch that I've been doing in the background of me speaking for the past 4 minutes. So this is a really good one. It fulfills all the rules. It is big. It has taken me, I've been doing this for the past few months, and then before then I was doing it for a few months, and then I stopped working on it for 7 years because I forgot it existed, but that's not important. The point is, it is taking a very long time to do. It is simple. I am just following the instructions. There is a pattern that I'm following. I just put the colours where it says on the instructions. I don't have to think about it. I'm just doing what I'm told to do, which makes it boring. That's every time I say boring, it's boring in quotation marks, by the way. I don't actually mean boring. And it has really good set goals. Obviously, the design itself has all these little sections in it, so every time I complete a section, that's like a boost for me. I'm one section down. And also every time I complete a colour within that section and I can move on to the next colour, I tie the previous colour off, I cut the thread, and that's another boost of I just finished that feels good. I'd recommend that as a project. The next project I'm going to talk about is a crochet blanket that I did. This took me about 2 months last year. I did it over November and December and I was done by Boxing Day. So it takes a while. It's really good because it's not my pattern, I'm following a pattern. The instructions are given to me online, I'm just following it. And it's perfect because the pattern itself came in these weekly packets. So every time I finished a week, that felt really good because then I could close that file and open the next file for the next week. And also every time I finished a row of colour, you then get to cut the thread, weave in the ends, and that just feels good that you completed that, so it makes you want to keep going and see it get bigger and bigger and bigger. Another crochet example is this cardigan that I'm making. It is it's based on the cardigan from Project Hail Mary because it's the best movie ever and I love it so much. But it's really good. Again, I've been working on it for about a month and I'm still nowhere near done, but that's mainly because I ran out of yarn and I need to buy some more yarn for it. It's great because again, I am not following the pattern, I am following a pattern I got off of Etsy, and then for the embroidery designs on top of that, I did have to modify the actual design for the cardigan to fit, so that required a little bit of thinking, so it's not properly boring as it should be, but it's still very therapeutic. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, but it still has set goals because the cardigan pattern itself is split up into panels, so once you finish a panel, that feels really good, and also every time you finish a ball of yarn, that feels really good, and you're one step closer to the end, so it makes you want to keep doing it. Now for some examples that you could do if you are a artist, more traditional artist, digital art, that kind of thing. You do drawing, you don't make things. I would recommend, if you want to practice some realism, just get an A3 sheet of paper and use the grid method, which, if you don't know what that is, you get your reference image, split it up into a grid, and so when you're copying that realism image, you copy it one square at a time, and it will help you keep everything kind of in proportion. And again, that'll take a while. Realism takes a long time unless you're really good at it. It'll take you a while. It's fairly simple because you are just copying a reference. You don't have to come up with the composition and the lighting and everything yourself. And also, you have the grids. I mean, once you finish a square, that's a really good feeling. You have a square down. Again, I'd always recommend Zentangles or just doodling in general. That's a really good big side project you can do. You just get a big sheet of paper. Every now and again, when you don't want to work on your regular projects, doodle whatever you want, draw a little Zentangle. It'll help you feel good. And again, once you start filling that page up, it'll make you feel good and it will last a while. Another good idea is drawing sets of something. So ignoring your big projects that you want to do, if you just want to practice colour theory or whatever, you need to draw, or you can draw, in sets. So, for example, you can draw every character in My Little Pony or whatever, or every character in My Hero Academia, or whatever your favourite characters are in a series. Draw each of them in a specific way. And that way it'll take a lot of time to do because there'll be many characters. Again, you're just copying from a TV show, you're not doing character design, you don't have to come up with the characters yourself. And each time you get a character done, which is a page in your sketchbook or just a drawing on your iPad or whatever, that feels good to have done. Then you're one character closer to the end of what you're drawing. So yeah, I hope that made sense for you guys. It's kind of a specific thing that I do that helps me get burnt out, but the idea of it is you have this big ongoing project that lasts a long time, you don't have to think about, but still gives you validation, whether that be you're just practicing or you'll have a finished product at the end of it. You don't have to have a finished product, but you have something to show for it, basically, so that when you get burnt out or when you get art block and you can't think of something to draw, you don't have to strain yourself. You don't have to strain yourself to keep doing these new ideas, these new projects. You just put it down, you go over to the sofa, put the TV on, and you start doing the big boring project. All of these should be kind of designed so that you can watch TV or whatever whilst you're doing it, because you don't have to think about it too much. That's the key goal. The key goal is you don't have to think about it too much. You're not designing something, you're just following something else, but you still get that end product that you're happy with. And this is just a way that I avoid art block and avoid burnout. And it's really helpful for me, so I thought I'd share it with you guys, see if it helps any of you. And if you try it and it works, let me know in the comments. And if you tried it and it didn't work, also let me know, and let me know why you think it didn't work. And then we could try and improve the big boring project together. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you that show support on my channel. I'm still relatively new at making these kind of art YouTuber videos, so all the support that you guys give me is greatly appreciated, so thank you.